A couple years ago, John Heiss from ibuildit.ca turned his handheld belt sander into a table-mounted sanding platform, I guess you could call it. And ever since seeing that video, I've really wanted to do the same thing with this sander. It's a lot easier to take smaller pieces to the sander than it is to take the sander to smaller pieces. John mounted his with the front handle and back handle. He had a little clip that this slid in and two pieces of wood that straddled this back handle. Now his design worked really well because he had a flat top to his sander. I don't. My sander is all kinds of funny shapes and angles, so I have to figure out some type of side mounting and not a top mount system. So my first thought was to mount this side of the sander down like so, because it's pretty much the biggest flat surface that I have. But that leaves a couple problems. This is the access panel for the belt drive, and I want to have access to this. And also this is my little adjustment screw to adjust the actual tracking of the belt. So I actually want these facing up. So I'm going to mount it like this on a table, but the only flat mounting surface is this face, and it also extends this little rim along the side of the belt itself. So I'm going to get this traced out and hopefully get something cut to match this. Now I've already taken off this cover to verify that there's not much going on here. We've got a small fan that actually sucks in air from down here and blows it out this direction. It's very small, so I've got about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch all the way around this thing that I'm going to try and use some pre-existing holes that I've already made. But I've got all this material here that I could just screw right into. So this is the piece I just cut, and I'm going to try and line up with those other holes, and if I miss, no worries. With the board mounted on it, I could really still, I could still use this as a hand sander. I'm not going to. I don't like using this thing. It's bulky. It creates way too much dust. So this is going to be a permanent solution. I'm just going to screw this down onto another platform, which is actually a reused cabinet door, so I can move this around as needed. Now that it's mounted to the platform, it's pretty much good to go with a simple table here, but I want to add dust collection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enclose this in 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and I'm going to add a dust collection port right here in the back. Now the reason I want it right here is because as the material comes along the back side of it, I want it to be sucked in, but also the stock dust collection is right here, and it's blowing into this corner as well. So simple 1/4 inch plywood box with some dust collection. I ran out of this 1/4 inch luan that I was using to box in the sides, so for the top I'm using a piece of painted MDF that I had laying around. I've also put a little strip right here, not to seal off airflow on this side, but to restrict it a little bit. I do want some airflow through here to kind of help keep the machine cool, but the vast majority of air I want to be sucked in from this side. Cut a piece of scrap Formica countertop to use as a table, and to get to the height that I want, I'm just going to add a couple of shims real quick and then actually feed this into the machine with it running. That'll give you a nice even zero clearance profile and a good opportunity to test the dust collection. So as you can tell, this is definitely a function over fashion type of project. I'm not too concerned with the way it looks. It works, and it works really well. The dust collection, I'm very impressed with. The best part about it is I didn't spend a dime for this conversion. All this stuff was scrap that I had laying around in the shop, and I put it to good use. So if you like what I did here, give me a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and you guys have a great day.